So we've covered a major seventh chord in first inversion. We've covered it in root position too. And this video is going to show you how to do this in second inversion. So again, no matter what the bottom note is, we're going to start with a 1 when we figure out our intervals. And I'll do a 1 that doesn't look so bad. So G is going to be our 1. That means that B is a third above G. We're going to mark a 3. Now from G up to C, that is a fourth. And for G up to E, that is a sixth. So the numbers that we have this time are 6 up top, then a 4, then a 3, then a 1. Those are the intervals that are made up, or that make up this chord. So when we write our Roman numeral, in this case a 1, what are we going to call this? So this is where we start running into a problem. We covered that the C major seventh in first inversion, or any seventh chord in first inversion, we're going to call that the 165. The reason we call it that is because 1/6 is taken. So we definitely can't just call this a 1/6. We can't call the second inversion a 1/6. Aha, you might think. What about a 6/4? Because we have a 6 in here, and we have a 4 in here. Now that would make sense, but if we come up and look at the triad in second inversion, that already has the title of a 6/4. So we're in a bit of a conundrum. What do? Would we mark this a 6/3? No, we couldn't do that because that would be the same as first inversion triad. So what we have to do is we actually have to ignore that 6. We're not going to use that to tell us that it is a seventh chord. So let me zoom in here. Now we're going to ignore the 6 and we're going to start on the next one. We could call this just a 1/4, but the people who come up with the rules of music theory, they don't like marking that with just a 4 because that means something different. So what we call this is we're going to have the 4 and then a 3 underneath that. So we're going to call this chord a 1/4/3, and that's exactly how you would say that. Now we have two unique numbers here that won't let us get confused with other inversions of other chords. So any seventh chord in second inversion is going to be marked as a 4/3, just like that.